Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Garfield Kart. So this is the way the module looks. What we have here is we have a yellow background, yellow border, blue background, and a series of different numbers at the top. In this case, it'll be in the range of 1 through 6. Uh, Puzzle pieces potentially up in the top right, and what we have here is we have the map that we're going to be looking at for the Garfield Kart. So this module is based off of the hit title, you guessed it, Garfield Kart, and what we're going to have here is we're going to have a racetrack present, and we're going to have these 6 numbers at the top, as well as puzzle pieces. So in order to solve this module, we need to determine which place we get by pressing one of these buttons here, and that's going to be done by some calculations. So we need to first figure out who we are as a player. In this case, we have a wide variety of different characters that can appear. In this case, we have Garfield, Odie, Harry, Squeak, Normal, Liz, John, and Arlene. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking a look at these conditions, and the first letter of the name that you get is going to be who your character is. And that's going to give us a series of different stats. In this case, speed, acceleration, and handling, which we will be using in later calculations. So, what we need to take a look at is we need to take a look at this Venn diagram here, or not Venn diagram, just these it is a Venn diagram technically. So what we need to do is we need to determine whether blue, green, or orange are true or not, and we're going to determine the letter that we get from this. So let's take a look. So the condition for the blue is going to be, does the serial number contain a letter in Garfield? Let's take a look at the serial number here. Garfield. So what we're looking at here. It does. Lima is in Garfield, so this is going to be true. So the blue is going to be present. Serial number contains a letter in Kart. It does not in this case. Papa, Lima, and X-ray are not present in Kart, so green is not going to be true. And finally, any lit indicator contains a letter in Garfield Kart. Do we have any lit indicators present? We do have Bob. However, there is no B, O, or B present in the name, Garfield Kart. So this is not going to be true. So it's just going to be blue. So blue gives us the letter of G, which means we're going to be using Garfield. Okay. So now, once you find out who you are, you need to find out where you are. The module will show us a section of an image associated with the racetrack. And usually what this is, it'll be a zoomed in image, and we have a wide variety of different options here. And in this case, as you can see, one of the things that you need to pay attention to is the track number and the cup that it's in. So we're just going to be noting that down. Now, one other important thing to note down is that there are puzzle pieces present in these actual images as well. There is like Hell Rock has 0 in this case. City Slicker has 2. These are irrelevant. They are just there, I believe, for design purposes, but these have nothing to do with the actual calculations. So do not worry about these. Only focus on the ones that are at the module, which I will explain what this rule is in just a moment. Okay, so let's take a look. So this one looks like sort of a curvy road, and it appears to be a little bit dark. And in this case, it's going to be play misty for me. And in this case, as you can see, we have a zoomed in section of this road over here. It's like this little bottom left portion of it, essentially, and that's what we're looking at here. So let's take a look. So we need to keep this one in mind. I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to do it in red. And now what we're going to do is we're going to essentially be taking a look at these series of rules here. We're going to be needing, we need to calculate the number G, which in this case is just going to be the number that we're going to submit. So all of these rules will be adding on to G in some way, shape, or form. So we need to find the number that the track is on. In this case, it's the tab at the top of the yellow. So in this case, it's going to be 1. And I'm going to pop up my handy dandy calculator for this because we're going to need a lot of calculations for this one. So let's take a look here. So we're going to multiply that against the cup the track is located in. So we start with 1. Because the top part of this track represents 1. And in this case, Sneak a Peek represents 2. Blazing Oasis represents 3, and so on and so forth, as you can see. Now, what we need to note down is we need to figure out what cup we're in. In this case, we're going to be in the hamburger cup. We need to now multiply this number, in this case 1, by the value of hamburger cup, which is 3. So times by 3 is going to be 3. Now, if your character is Garfield, the actual multiplier is 522, the amount of lasagna he eats per day. Now, we actually do have Garfield present. So in this case, now that would be only applying for lasagna, keep that in mind. This is the only time where this ever applies for lasagna. It has to be lasagna cup and Garfield. Hamburger itself does not matter because obviously we don't have that little asterisk there. But very important to keep that in mind, that if you happen to have Garfield and you happen to be in the lasagna cup, your multiplier will actually change to 522. Very important. Okay, so now we're done with this step. We're currently on 3 right now. And what we need to take a look at is we need to take a look at the puzzle pieces here. And in this case, the way that you can tell the puzzle pieces on the module is it will be blue if so for the puzzle pieces. So in this case, we have 2 of these blue puzzle pieces. So we're going to be taking a look at the 2 rule here. Now, it's either 1, 2, or 3, or 0 for the last rule here. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to get the multiplicative digital root of G if the track is City Slicker. Now, City Slicker is represented by this map right here, right over here. However, we are not on City Slicker, so in this case, that's not going to apply. So otherwise, we're going to get the added digital root of G. Now, the thing with this is actually, that's very important, is we already have 1 digit. Digital root essentially wants you to add or multiply until you're left with 1 digit. And we're already left with 1 digit, so we don't even really need to worry about this step. Perfect. Next up, if the last letter of your character is in the track name, so let's take a look. We have Garfield. Is Delta in the track name? Play Misty for me. No, it's not actually, so we can just skip this step. If G is below 100, which in this case it is indeed, we're going to add 200 to this. So adding 200. And if for some reason if it's above 10,000, we're going to modulo it by 10,000. Now we're going to multiply G by your character's speed, dropping all decimals. Now everything here is actually worth 1. And that's going to be very important to note down because all of these are going to be multiplied in some way, shape, or form. So we're just essentially going to be multiplying by 1, which we're going to keep it with ourselves. Now we're going to add the amount of letters in the character's name to G. So in this case, Garfield has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to add 8 to this. Now we're going to multiply by the character's acceleration, still 1. And then if the track contains an even amount of letters, we're going to multiply G by 5, otherwise multiply by 7. So let's take a look. So if the track contains an even amount of letters, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It is even, so we're going to be multiplying G by 5. Okay. And then finally, multiply G by your character's handling, drop all decimals, still 1. And then we're going to modulo this by 6, and then add 1 to this. And this is going to be our final value for G. So we're going to modulo this by 6. I'm going to get rid of 600 first, then I'm going to get rid of 60. And then I'm going to get rid of 6. Then we're going to add 1 to this. And now, this is your final value for G. G is now the place that you've got. We're going to select the button at the top with this number. So in this case, we're going to select 6. Just like that is a solved module. So let's take a look at one more example. Hopefully I can give a bit more examples with someone who has a little bit more of a wide variety of stats, preferably. But let's take a look and let's see what we have here. Any minute now. Let's put up another example. But yeah, this is all this module is. It's just very basic math. Just make sure that you read, especially number 9, make sure you read that you are going to have to multiply in some way, shape, or form. Multiply by 5 or multiply by 7. So just keep that in mind. And another important thing, multiplying by a character's speed and handling is just dropping all decimals, whereas multiplying by G is going to be rounding up. That's going to be very important to note that to make sure you pay attention to. Fairly simple thing to do. Just make sure that you pay attention to what you're reading. Okay, so first things first, let's take a look at our conditions. Now, Garfield is, we do have a character in this, but it is in Garfield. In this case, we have got Foxtrot and the India, so we have got that taken care of. Serial number contains a letter in Kart. No. And any lit indicator that we have present. Okay, now I'm gonna reroll because I want something with a little bit more, little bit better characteristics and personality instead of all just being simply ones. Let's take a look. Okay. Yes, this is gonna be different. Okay, so we've got golf. We have K. And the indicator NSA. A. Yep. Okay, so all 3 of these rules actually do apply. And in this case, what this does for us is this gives us an A, because all 3 circles apply. In the middle of that is an A. We're going to be taking a look at Arlene this time. Okay. So now, let's take a look, and let's see which map we're actually looking at here. So we're currently looking at, we've got a bunch of little lily pads off to the left here, which is going to definitely be the key distinction, I think. And this is going to be Pale Rock Lake. So now this is the Lasagna Cup, and this is going to be track number 3. So let's take a look. So Lasagna Cup, and we're starting on track number 3. So we're going to start with number 3 here. We're going to multiply this by 2. We're not playing as Garfield, so we don't have to worry about this. Now the module itself has 2 puzzle pieces. It's got 2 blues here. It's got the exact same case, and we're not on City Slicker, so it's going to be the additive digital group, which in this case is still going to be 6. If the last letter of your character is in the track name, in this case Arlene is going to be Echo. I imagine it would be. Pale Rock Lake, indeed it does. It has an Echo. So in this case, what we're going to do here is we're going to multiply G by 23. 23. Okay, if G is below 100, add 200. In this case, it is not, and neither is it above 10,000. Okay, we're going to multiply G by your character's speed. In this case, our speed is actually 1, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to add the amount of letters in your character's name. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, adding 6 to you. Okay. Now, we're going to multiply by your character's acceleration, and we're going to round up. So in this case, our acceleration is a 0.75 times you by 0.75. That's going to give us 108. No decimals present, so that's just going to be 108. Now, if the track contains an even amount of letters, let's take a look. So Pill Rock Lake is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is indeed even. We're going to multiply G by 5. So times G by 5. And now we're going to multiply by your character's handling, which in this case is a 1.25. We still have no decimals, but we would drop them all here. And now we're going to modulo this all by 6 and then add 1. So minus 600, minus 60, 75 minus 60, modulo 6 here, plus 1 is going to give us a 4. And just like that is a solved module. And at the end, it does show a little funny Garfield image, and just like that, we are good to go. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.